Namaste. Very good morning, good evening, dear friends and masters. On behalf of Buddhasya Quantum Foundation, myself Namita Singh welcomes you all to the program Infinity. We are in the Health Week, and we have learned that most of the diseases are psychosomatic. As is our psyche, so is our soma. It is basically holding on to extra emotional baggage accumulated over the years is what that makes us sick. Meditation teaches us to let go. We learn to live in the present moment. Meditation brings a shift from chaos to calmness, lower emotions to higher emotions, illness to wellness, from fearfulness to fearlessness, narrow mindset to growth mindset, and limited self to unlimited self. Only because of meditation, our perception, our mindset changes in a positive manner. Let today be the day that you love yourself enough to no longer dream of a better life. Let today be the day that you act on it, you enjoy it, you cherish it on moment to moment basis. Keep meditating, dear friends and masters. Meditation should be the way of life. And you can see the difference. Challenges will be there, but now we know how to live with them, how to deal with them, and how to turn challenges into choices. Thank you. And now it is time to see and listen the motivational video. And then over to Rakesh sir. Thank you.
People who are doing meditation, who are taken up to meditation, regularly empty their minds of all the dust and dirt, of all the useless data. This useless data actually harms the body. A diseased mind creates a diseased body. A healthy mind creates a healthy body. A healthy mind is a primary requirement for a healthy body. Body is full of matter. In this book, Mind to Matter, how mind creates matter, it has been beautifully given. That is the science. The mind creates matter out of itself. And we are huge minds. But the minds have become powerless because of the dirt and dust accumulated in it. Now, when you begin to have meditation as a regular practice, you begin to clean up the mess. Slowly and surely, all the dirt and the dust vanishes from the mind as you keep to your practice of meditation.
Happy morning, friends, and a wonderful evening from those joining from the West. Some of you joined the Buddha Purnima meditations The more we practice meditation, as Patriji said, our mind becomes cleaner. We learn meditation helps health, physical health, relieves stress, brings a lot of energy. But as this program says, meditation is also for excellence. We become excellent in everything that we do. It is not for somebody to just go sit in Himalayas and practice meditation. It is for everybody who lives here, who wants to enjoy the experience the most for everything that we do. And meditation, as the science shows, significantly helps in doing everything that we do better. Research has shown the cerebral cortex, or the gray matter, you might have heard of the brain. There is a strong structural change when people practice meditation. It actually grows. Maybe some of you would have heard that as you grow older, brain cells don't regenerate. But this research and several others show that the gray matter actually increases in size for regular practitioners of meditation. But what does that mean? It's not just a structural change, but also the functions of the brain, like, your thinking power, everything that happens on the cerebral cortex level. So your ability to read more, ability to see more clearly, ability to think more clearly, ability to make better decisions. All of that improves when you have the significant improvement when you're practicing regular meditation. We start using the whole brain. People say that I'm a left brain or a right brain. What they're saying is I'm either logical thinking or a creative person, because there's been assumption that, okay, if you are left brain, that means you are more logical, and the right brain means you are more creative. I mean, those part of the brain actually holds those functions. But with practice of meditation, there's something called corpus callosum, or the part of the brain that actually connects both sides of the brain. We have both parts of the brain to use it beautifully. That part, corpus callosum, research shows that actually thickens when you're practicing meditation. What it means is you are actually using every part of the brain. You become not just better things of cognitive powers, but also significant creative part of the brain is activated too. Hippocampus, which is the part of the brain in the midbrain, which holds long-term memory. Study showed that part thickens, that it becomes, that means you can hold lot more memory. And at the same time, amygdala, which is also called the fear center. If you hear people sharing their experience, people who've been practicing meditation, and personally I have experienced, when you're sincerely practicing, when you're practicing regularly, you start losing the fear. What does that fear? I mean, what do we worry most? What will happen in future? What is, I don't want to do something new. Fail. There is always the fear. What if I get ridiculed doing something completely new? And that fear comes from that center called amygdala.
Yes, dear friends and masters, there seems to be some technical
Yes.
challenge. Yeah.
Thank you, Namitaji.
Thank
I'm in Pyramid Valley.
you.
But yes, so that fear that what will happen, and fear comes when you are stressed. And the amygdala helps to fight that stress for you. So that part actually reduces. So that means you become less fearful, more adventurous. You are able to do things which you wouldn't have thought of doing before. In a stressful situations, the cortex which actually thinks gets disconnected, and you start doing automatic responses like running or fighting or whatever. But with regular practice of meditation, you become a lot more clear, calmer. Instead, your ability to think improves even in a stressful situations. So if you hear people who are practicing meditation, I had a lot of challenge in my business, but yet I was calm. I stopped reacting, but I started responding, and all of that happens because of this. So meditation in many ways improves long-term memory, but at the same time helps reduce that fear of doing something great, which is also a reason why you would become more creative, because you're not afraid to try new things. So friends, meditation develops a lot of these mind powers. Your self-awareness improves, and most importantly, as you become meditative, we've heard in the first week about various brain waves. So as you practice meditation, you go more into that alpha state or the theta state, delta state, where you become fast learner. You start thinking more. You start learning more. You start becoming more creative. So let me just put up one slide. It just kind of summarizes everything that we talked about, how meditation helps all these long-term mind powers. To summarize, meditation helps storing power, the long-term memory, but not just increasing the memory power, but it also helps improve your ability to access, because the brain now starts storing in a way which is more, you can access things that are related. You are able to connect the dots. A lot of things has happened in the past. If you're able to connect the dots, you're able to make better decisions. So your ability to, because a lot more neural connections happen with meditation. Your ability to access the right information at the right time happens beautifully with meditation. Your ability to focus, concentration, it's again the part of the brain of the cerebral cortex. People say, hey, I'm able to sit more clearly doing a particular task and become more mindful. Mindfulness becomes natural with meditation. You're able to focus more. Ability to read more. Read and learn, right? People say, I've not been reading I have not had a reading habit, but yet with meditation, suddenly I can read a lot more. And ability to grasp more. When you read, you not only get the gist of it very quickly, but you are able to relate to it, to your situations more easily. That is the learning power. And of course, the creative power, because you start using all parts of the brain, the corpus callosum that I spoke about, you become a lot more creative. More importantly, you start using your intuition to solve things that you probably, not just the logical part of what data that you have to use to make decisions. And of course, the most important, your mind becomes clear. Your 50 to 60,000 thoughts that we talk about during before meditation that we have every day. Thoughts are energy. So when your mind becomes empty, you have a lot more energy. We heard about it. So when you have a lot more energy, whatever that you think, you can put a lot more energy into it. So that's why people say, I just thought that, I wanted to do something and it just happened. Next week, we learn more through also the quantum science about manifestation, but our thought power improves significantly with meditation. People say, I didn't do anything. I was just thinking and it happened. I was thinking of calling somebody and that person called me back. So your thought power significantly improves because a lot more energy goes into the thought that actually you use when you are practicing meditation. So friends, practicing meditation is not only for improving your physical health, but to do things much, much better, more efficient. You become excellent. Excellence is not perfection, but you do the best of the ability at that moment. So we continue this practice, friends, and today we have a guest business leader coming in sharing his experience. We practice meditation so that we continue to gain that mind power. In our programs, we all do this, not only share the wisdom, but practice. We give a lot of importance to practice of meditation. We'll do another meditation session. The technique, those of you who are joining for the first time, the technique that we follow is called breath mindfulness meditation. It's the simplest technique that I found, that you can practice anywhere, anytime, and anybody, from a 5-year-old to a 100-year-old. Anybody can practice this technique. It is so simple. I can just put up the slide. So the technique that we follow, it's called breath mindfulness meditation, the previous slide, where you sit comfortably on a chair or on the floor, the previous slide, yes, like this. So you don't have to sit with the back straight. There is no special asanas, no special postures for this. Whatever that you're comfortable with the body. So if you have to take back support, you can, you should. Because comfort of the body is key here. And then clasp your fingers, cross your legs at the ankle, and close your eyes. If you're wearing specs, you remove them. And observe the natural breath. So what is natural breath? Something where you don't forcefully inhale or exhale. When you're sitting quietly, you are breathing. Right? Whether you're aware of it or not, you're breathing. Now that breath is what you're observing. You just observe that breath going in and coming out. And slowly, when you're observing this, the thoughts reduce. And at one point, the thoughts completely go away. You go into that emptiness state. And when you are in that emptiness state, thoughts might come. That's okay. Getting thoughts is not a challenge, or it's not unique. Most of people who practice meditation do get these thoughts. All we are doing when we get thoughts, when we recognize we are getting thoughts, we gently bring back our attention back to the breath, observing it either at the root of the nose or at the tip. And that's all we are doing. We are training the mind here. All right, friends. And just before that, to start, we'll do something called heart elevation. This is just a small segment, which is a mind activity. The breath mindfulness meditation is a non-mind activity. You are not doing anything. You're just sitting and being there, observing the breath. But to go into that state more easily, we practice something called heart elevation, where we bring up a higher emotion like joy, compassion, gratitude, love. Any of these emotions you would have felt in some event in the past, or something that you're looking forward to. If you remember this event, you'll bring up this emotion naturally. So bring up that emotion because it helps to elevate our heart or make our heart coherent, and which in turn makes us brain coherent and goes deeper in, we can go deeper into meditation. So relax, friends. Close your eyes. Remove your specs if you're wearing your specs. And observe every part of your body relaxing fully. Observe your head relaxing. Your face the hands, every part of the body, the legs, the ankle, the toe, each of this part of the body relaxing completely. And take a 1 or 2 deep breaths just to relax.
And slowly, let's go into breath mindfulness meditation with your fingers into fingers. Hands comfortably rested in your lap. With your eyes closed, observe your normal, natural in-breath and the out-breath. Our goal is to empty the mind and merge into that greater quantum field of energy. When we observe our breath, the mind becomes empty. to merge into your breath and allow yourself to become totally empty of all thoughts in your mind. and you observe your breath, the mind becomes empty. As your mind is becoming empty, we channelize all that energy into the generous present moment. We allow our body to function at its natural best. We gain greater clarity. Allow yourself to merge into your breath and allow yourself to experience that emptiness inside of you, all around you. Allow yourself to merge into your breath and allow yourself to become totally empty of all thought. Slowly and slowly can you become aware of that emptiness, where there's no body, where there's no thing. allow yourself to experience this emptiness. That infinite depth of that emptiness spreading far and wide. All emptiness is energy. This is the unlimited field of quantum energy with limitless possibilities. The longer you stay connected, the more you become of it, and the more you receive from it. It is natural to have thought. If you recognize you are thinking, go back to observing your breath, dear friends. Everything that you ever experienced or will experience is here in this field of energy. The longer you stay aware of this emptiness as no body, the more possibilities you draw into your life. Allow yourself to merge into the emptiness of yourself. That greater intelligence your higher mind everything and everybody are connected in this field of energy. the longer you stay aware of this emptiness, the more you lose yourself to this nothingness. The more we experience everything. Relax your body.
I am beautiful. I am powerful. I've let go of my past and celebrate.
Feel your body and let your autonomous nervous system
I am powerful.
repair your body.
And I celebrate who I am. I am beautiful. I am powerful. I've let go of my past and celebrate who I've become. I am beautiful. I am powerful. And I celebrate who I am. I am beautiful. I am powerful. I've let go of my past and celebrate who I've become. I am beautiful. I am powerful. And I celebrate.
Recollect your experiences from the session. How did you feel? What did you see? And whenever you're ready, you can keep your hands on your eyes for 5 seconds, and then you may open your eyes.
Okay, friends. Hope you had a great session. While the more we connect to our inner self, our intuition becomes a lot more powerful. Stop using logical mind, but listen to our heart more. Thank you for taking that commitment to be here, to practice, to make yourself infinite energy. So friends, today we have a wonderful guest, a business leader who's been practicing meditation for some time, who's not only taken it for himself, but is wanting to take this for his company, for his team, so that they also can benefit. It's a pleasure to have him in our session today. So Namita madam, can you introduce
Yes.
Mr. Ramesh?
Yes. Yes. In today's session, our guest speaker is Mr. Ramesh. He is Managing Director for Telugu Foods. He studied BE in Agricultural Engineering and MBA from IRMA College, Gujarat. He worked in corporate for 17 years and became entrepreneur for the last 11 years. Telugu Foods is a food processing industry running under Shweta Telugu Foods brand. They are into exporting groceries, snacks, pickles, masalas, frozen foods to over 24 different countries. We welcome you, sir.
Thank you, Namrataji. And good morning to all the masters. Okay. I've been practicing Buddha CEO meditations and knowledge sessions for the last 2.5 years. So the changes, the benefits I see in myself, I'll be telling like how I am using this wisdom and how I'm using this meditation in my personal life and in corporate life or in my company. Is I try to feel the breath. I mean, I consciously try to feel the breath and also try to feel that inner aliveness intermittently majority of the times while I'm working, while I'm dealing with my external vendors or the customers or within the company, my colleagues. I try to be with subtly, it will not be obvious when I'm in the meetings also. I just feel conscious breath and then feel that aliveness. That is giving me lightness. And that's also bringing me in the present moment, like whatever has happened in the day or the previous meeting, that mostly doesn't get carried to the next situation. So that is giving me freshness. That is giving me, with that I'm able to see the situation or deal with the people with the presence freshly and with a lot of spontaneous solutions. I keep getting, since I'm practicing all this, and in a challenging situations, my solutions are spontaneously coming. Even I myself surprised. Where is it? I mean, how is it happening and all that? So it's just happening from inside out. I'm experiencing that every day, even day before yesterday. So we had some challenge. We had to store some frozen foods in excess of our cold storage. We had to store somewhere. We contacted 4 or 5 people. We did not get any space. Suddenly, after a few hours, some contact came in, and we happened to approach him. He readily agreed. So we could ship the stocks from one, I mean, where we had a constraint of space to that space. So these things are just, they're happening. Many things are happening in a day like that, because I'm able to disconnect from the thoughts are happening. I mean, like research says, 60 to 70,000 thoughts a human being gets. Majority of them, 95% or whatever, is repetitive of what has happened previously, or random thoughts, or what is going to happen in the future. So what I tell myself is, 2 things are happening to me all the time without my intention. One is that my life energy is happening, the breath, inner animation of inner functioning of the organs to that energy, to that quantum field or energy, whatever we call. And other thing is thoughts are happening. So what am I identified with? Where am I deriving my identity from? That I keep questioning. So I drop the thoughts, I identify with the energy. When I require, again, I bring the thoughts. So that is the kind of, I'm not again completely arrived at switching off the mind, but I became aware of what are the 2 things happening, where am I deriving my identity from? Where am I deriving my sense of self from? So that is giving me a lot of relief from so much of work I do. But at the end of the day, once I start identifying with my energy, it's all becoming lighter, a lot more peaceful, and still able to handle and bring out huge amount of work through me. I'm not saying that it's all happening from that energy inside, so that I could feel it completely. Because if I compare before meditation, before got into this path to now, so I could see, I mean, the fatigueness at the end of the day, or that was not there. So still I'm fresh and still able to roll out so much of work out of me comparing to the pre-meditation period, so that I could distinctly see. Also in the team, I'm able to see certain points which others are able to see, because I'm not trying to label, but people are still lost in the thoughts, or lost in the previous work, or carrying huge of the past. So that I'm able to see it. That's again because of this energy is happening through me. I'm connected with that energy. I'm feeling that energy majority of the time in the day. So also when I go and meet external vendors or the bankers or the customers, first few seconds, I feel my breath, and I feel that the same energy I'm trying to feel in other gentlemen, irrespective of their positions, power, network, wealth, all that. So that way I'm able to connect easily at that level, instead of getting intimidated and all that. I used to get that earlier. If I'm going to some important stuff, I used to go with a lot of intimidation, and I could not be freely flowing or talking to them. But now I don't see that intimidation or daunting, all that. So I'm freely moving irrespective of others' position and network or whatever. So I feel that same breath, I feel that same energy. So you call it as oneness or whatever. Majority of them consciously I'm trying to do that. So that is helping me a lot. So these are the things. Also, I introduced meditation to my colleagues. In the morning, we keep telling them, we encourage them to do this meditation. And also in the office time, we are keeping half an hour slot for them. They all go into a room and they do the meditation. And they switch off the phones. So it is helping them. I could see that the goodness, good feelings among the colleagues. Some people are health-wise, they could see the improvement in their health and their fatigueness, tiredness, or at the end of the day, all these things, they are saying they're feeling fresh. So these are the efforts I'm putting. Still, I have to put a lot of efforts on my colleagues and friends. So that is how meditation is helping me. I know still, despite whatever I have told, but still a lot of thoughts are happening to me, and I could see them and not getting identified with them. All that awareness has come a lot of awareness I'm feeling. So able to sail through with lighterness, work-wise, health-wise. So I divide myself into the external world and inner world. External world, I keep thinking and doing, get involved in a lot of doings and all. But the inner world, I say that, okay, I have to spend some time with my inner world. So withdraw attention from all the external things and feel myself fully within the bag of my skin. Be fully with that and feel that energy. So external world, inner world. This is how I'm balancing, and it's helping me a lot, pre and post. Thank you, masters. Thank you, sirs.
Thank you, Mr. Ramesh. Amazing sharing. Separating out the inner world from the outer world. A lot of times in the work that we do, when we get so involved, we forget and we get so attached to what is happening. A lot of things that we do, that anxiety, that anger, the emotions that come out happens because we get so attached. But the ability to separate out the external world from the inner world and see that, yes, that is just a drama that's happening around, and being able to center yourself, that's amazing practice and the ability to do it. Because you can think more clearly when that happens. And so thank you for sharing that. And of course, separating out the past and disconnecting from the past. What a great quality that we develop, because it's easy to judge somebody because of what they have done in the past, or how that vendor was. I mean, let's say that vendor was not cooperative last time. So if you judge, if you go with the past experience, but you disconnect and look at them with the fresh eyes, things happen. That intuition, I think what you probably brought about is about intuition. And you thought everything happened, and suddenly there is a new intuition to reach out to that vendor. So it happens magically. We don't know how. A lot of times we start looking at how, but many things happen without even we doing things. And I think what we're more grateful is that you are taking this to your company, giving that half an hour space for the employees, the team, to practice meditation. I think that shows how much you committed to this and how you've seen the benefits. You want to take it to everybody. So thank you, Mr. Ramesh.
Yes, sir.
Wonderful to have you. And so friends, if you have any questions, if you feel, I mean, of course, you would have inspired by the sharing. Do raise your hands. Would love to hear your, and Ramesh is here to answer any of your questions. But one thing that I take is when I am benefiting, I'd love to take it to everybody else. I did this too when I started practicing, and I found this so simple, so beautiful. I said, I'll do this for my team. Did a program for 21 days where I started teaching. This was, through that 21 days, there's one person. Of course, there many people came and joined, doing on and off. But there's one person who would do it even without a break. So that gave me a lot of happiness, and I'm sure Ramesh is feeling that
Yes.
his team is practicing and benefiting. So yes, Mr. Ugain, let's just have him. Yes.
Good morning to you all.
Go ahead.
Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Ugain.
So I'm Ugain Singh from Bhutan. So past meditation experience, I've implemented with my students. I'm a teacher. I implement with my students what I have learned till now. So they did a very good meditation. So I taught all the steps what I got from the Zoom session here. So again, I did a follow-up how they did the meditation. And again, I give them assignment that every morning they have to do it at home. This is my experience. I've shared with my students. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you. Yes, it's a great thing that you're doing, sharing what you learn. I mean, this is something that I learned. I'm here in Pyramid Valley. I was listening to one of Patriji's teachings. He's saying, if you learn A, teach A. If you're learning B, teach B. You don't have to learn the entire syllabus to start teaching. All you're doing is sharing. And that's what you're saying. I mean, thank you. I'm sure they're benefiting a lot. All right. So I have a question. So I have a question, Ramesh. Since you've been practicing,
Yeah.
what actually
Yeah.
made you take it to your company?
In between you broke, sir. I mean, voice was not clear. Can you kindly repeat?
Yes, I was asking, because you've been practicing for some time, but that what made you feel that, hey, my company should also, I should take it. I should have my company team also practice.
Yeah.
And what are the benefits that you're seeing when within the team?
Why I started is like I was benefiting. I was seeing the change in me, improvement in me. Then I thought they are the people I work with almost 8 to 10 hours a day. So the environment also, the people also can get benefited both health-wise and mental health. That is how to manage the thoughts, how to be free from thoughts. Those things I used to tell them in few meetings, but it's only theoretical. Then I said, let me put them into the practice. So at least some percentage can benefit immediately, some percent as we go along. So that was the idea. So one is that physical health-wise, there are good improvements. Some people they have back pain. They got rid of. I mean, they were free from the back pain after they started practicing meditation. And some people have to have shoulder issues, and some had headaches, frequent headaches. So these kind of physical benefits we have seen. And if it comes to the further improvement, I could see that the teams and the people are going together easily. I mean, working together easily compared to earlier. So earlier they used to carry opinions about others and they used to have their own assumptions. Now they're freely approaching colleagues, and the environment is more affectionate. So one of my colleagues said the environment is more love instead of seeing separately. One person expressed that. So the environment is friendly, good to. They're happily getting along with the colleagues as a teamwork. So these are the changes I've seen. I mean, they vocally said also. They express.
Wow. Yeah, having a greater cohesion within the team.
Yes.
A lot of times, I used to feel that, that dredge, before starting meditation, if I have to go to office, I have to listen to all these complaints. I have to listen to all these, that fight between the team members. They have those baggages. So it used to be like a dredge. When team starts working cohesively, I mean, you said that word, beautiful. It's the environment of love. We hardly hear that in our corporate environment, but that's what we are. So, wow, thank you. So thank you, friends. Thank you, Mr. Ramesh, for sharing that. And we'll continue to have you and interact with you a lot more and listen to your experiences more in the coming months. Thank you.
Sure, sir. Sure, sir. Thank you, sir.
So, all right, friends. So, thank you. I know we are coming towards the end of the regular session.
Yeah, sorry to interrupt you, Rakesh. I have a sound announcement to make.
Yes, Amitaji. Right.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, dear friends and masters, today is Saturday. So there is a Saturday class. Join us for the master class to listen to the life experiences of meditative leader Vinita Agarwal, Director, Amrit Skills and Development Private Limited, through the program Journey Towards Consciousness Living. It's 5:30 p.m. to 7 p.m. IST today, and same Zoom link as of the morning program. Thank you.
Thank you, Namitaji, for reminding. Yes, the great opportunity. Listen and imbibe. Because the more we hear these experiences, the more we become, we feel, yes, this is possible. I was listening to an experience of a meditator who's been practicing for more than 18 years here in Pyramid Valley. She mentioned, somebody told me she's not been having food for the past 11 years. Of course, she takes fluids sometimes. And then she said, when she feels like maybe once in 3 days, she'll have one dosa. But otherwise, she's not been having food. When we hear this again, we listen, somebody tell that, okay, this has happened, right? But when you meet them, when you actually hear them live, their stories, you realize it's actually possible. Because she says all my energy, and she's very active. Yeah, you don't feel that she's not having food. She takes up, she says, I work with people night or day. And she was active all day. I mean, she was walking around, helping people. So, I mean, and then she says, all of it is only meditation. All I do is I just make sure I do minimum 3 hours of meditation every day. And she works with people all over the world, supporting them in their journey. So, friends, so listening to experiences and this master classes is designed like that. So you get the wisdom from people who've been practicing and share their experience, because all about is their experience, how it has helped them, what they do. So we get inspired and we can do more. So thank you. And we'll stay on for some more time after this break. And if anybody has any questions, we can interact.
Sir, for the past 3 days, I'm not able to meditate. I'm sitting in the session, closing my eyes, and of course, there was an external disturbance, like there was a ring on the doorbell, and somebody around was shouting. It happened 3 days ago, and then on, when I sit for the class, though I close my eyes and try to focus on my breathing, I'm not able to get into the meditation. So, for attending the session and the day-long commitments, I wake up at about 5 o'clock, and if I'm not able to get into the meditation, I'm feeling tired, disturbed, annoyed, restless, weak, and so on. It's been happening for the past 3 days. And even last night, it was Buddha Purnima meditation, special meditation session. Though I joined at about 10 o'clock after I finished my work at home, it was quite silent all around, and still I could not get into the meditation. So, because I'm not able to get into the meditation, because previously, right from the beginning of the session of this program, though I wake up early morning, though I work all day, I was feeling really energized, light, and happy. Whereas for the past 3 days, really I'm annoyed, and I'm not able to discharge my duties properly, disturbed. How can I handle this situation, sir? Would you please guide me?
We get through it. Initially, when you're practicing, I mean, how long you've been practicing, madam? I mean, is this your first time? I mean, are you practicing,
Yes, sir.
joining
Yes,
the program? Yes.
It's with this program. Long time ago, through somebody, I came to know about meditation, and I was not regular. At once or a few times, just a few times, I did meditation. I had a wonderful experience at that time, but I don't know whether to share with you at this platform. I got an inner voice like, "These are all not your people. Just move away from this. Move away from these people." In the sense, I'm married. I have a daughter, my husband, and we three live in a flat. And I work for a missionary school. After I got that inner voice 2 times, I don't know, that's said to be inner voice, it seems. After I got that inner voice, I was in a friction like thing, because I'm married, I have a daughter, I have commitments to my parents, my family, my job. And there was a lot of friction at that time that made me stop meditating at that time, a few years ago, like 4 years ago or so. And then after, I never meditated. And recently through this session, I've started meditating, and I was feeling really very good, very comfortable. But only for the past 3 days, it's been like this, sir.
Yeah. So when you're practicing initial days, right? So there's a lot of churn that happens. It's about training your mind, and till now we've always been tuned to be unconscious. When I say unconscious, we do things automatically. So most of the things, the body takes over what we do. Body and mind, the physical mind that we call. So when you're practicing meditation, sometimes you get into a state where it tries to control mind, and the body takes control and says, hey, I am the boss, I am the master. So it can happen that you might feel that conflict. For me, it happened around somewhere in the 3rd week of when I started practicing. I couldn't even sit for half an hour, not even 15 minutes, because it was just, there's so much of that thoughts was like really eating into me. It became, I just couldn't sit. On the first day, yes, I did open my eyes. I kind of stopped, but then I came back, telling that, yes, this is a phase that happened because we are going into a new environment where we are feeling the energy. We are not looking at the sensory world. We are energy conscious. So that transition, sometimes there will be some challenges, and this conflict might, but we get through it. Continue the practice. It doesn't matter. Don't think that, okay, yesterday it happened, so today also it will happen. So you continue the practice, and I'm sure in next week or so you will feel it might even happen much before. For me, it was for 2-3 days, but it'll go away. It's all a phase. And
Okay,
many
sir.
of the things that we say, we call inner voice, we look at it, we listen to it, we don't interpret immediately. Of course, if you know it is what it is, yeah, you can look to take action. But again, you take some time to understand, and you don't necessarily have to take action right away, because you can validate it. Validate what is that message coming instead of taking the action right away. So you practice. I think it's important that you continue the practice, because giving up again, at some point you'll look to come back, because we are here for a reason. So continue the practice. I'm sure in a week's time you'll have a different story to tell. All right.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes. Yes.
Thank you very much. I just thought I'll share a quick experience by myself. My name is Sangeeta. I'm speaking to you all from Dubai. It's, first of all, a great place to meditate. I wanted to just share, based on what the teacher was just sharing, that she's not alone. I have been also meditating for many years with different modalities. And the conflict is something that I experience on a very day-to-day basis. Like, whether to choose a career, whether to choose family, whether to prioritize this or whether to prioritize this. I think it only gets better when we continuously meditate. This is my personal feeling. Even I have the same conflict as how do I manage, my family living far away from me, having a husband, kids, job here, and how do I spiritually grow? So there's always a conflict, and I can't necessarily say it gets better, but there are days when I'm completely immersed in conflict, and there are days when I'm in a complete state of bliss. So for me, I think just the whole thing about what you rightly said, keep doing it, is something that's I think I wanted to just reiterate that she's not alone in this conflict business. So I just thought I'll share that. Thank you.
Thank you, Sangeeta madam. Yes. Practice. That's all it is. We learn to look at it as just an experience. The more we practice, we more disconnect from these conflicts or things that we see, we get attached to. We become a lot more calmer. Thank you. Thank you for reiterating that. And I know that you are joining from Dubai. It's very early in the morning. So really appreciate your commitment. Thank you. Yes, Madam Rosemary. Good to see you. Can't hear you.
I'm not sure if you've ever heard of Diva Pramil. She's my favorite. I put a bunch of links up to everyone to share her wonderful, beautiful voice. I know she appears a lot in Germany. I'm hoping she comes back to the US. I'd really love to see her in person. But when I first started awakening into this path of meditation, I really got a lot of influence from listening to Diva, Pramil, and Mitten. They're just so beautiful to listen to. It's a different scale. The American music scale is a little different than the Indian scale, the music. But the words, the language, the Sanskrit is just the same, and it's beautiful. I just wanted to share that with you. As far as my experience goes, today I did attend the moon meditation as best as I could. I had some things that I needed to do, so I couldn't do the whole thing, but I did as much as I could do. And I wanted to say that I really enjoyed the music. It was beautiful. And also the experience was absolutely gorgeous. I've had some problems with my own experiences as time went on with, I think a lot of us are affected by anxiety these days. It's a strange time that we live in. So, we all get affected from it, I think, from time to time. And I certainly have my share. And when I try to meditate, sometimes the thoughts, they keep jumping around from place to place. When I speak, I sort of get very anxious sometimes. And I'm thinking that as time goes on and I continue to meditate, and perhaps I should give myself a prescription to do twice a day instead of just the once, because I think it will really help me to get through the anxiety, to strengthen my mind, and align myself and center myself again. And I just wanted to say to all the wonderful people out there, thank you so much for bringing this meditation. God, I'm going to cry because it means so much to me. I just want to say thank you with all my heart. I really, really am so grateful to you for bringing this to me, and sharing your wonderful experiences, your music, your everything. It means so much to me, and I want to take part in every way I possibly can. Thank you. That's the way I'm going to leave this night in complete gratitude. Thank you.
Thank you, Rosemary Madam. Yes,
So,
we all made it possible. Our thoughts create our reality. So every one of us wanted to have this. So we are grateful to everybody who is joining every day and practicing and taking that commitment to themselves, making that commitment to themselves, saying that, hey, I would like to transform. And that's what makes all this possible. So thank you for sharing. And yes, the full moon meditation with live music is amazing. I witnessed it yesterday, staying here within the pyramid. It was amazing. Thank you. Yes, Neeraj, Mr. Neeraj. You can unmute yourself.
Hello.
Yes, go ahead.
Good morning, sir. Sir, I'm the first time meditator. So one thing I am very confused about, that when I'm meditating, I'm not sure whether I'm in meditative stage or I'm in sleeping stage.
Why do you need to know that?
Because I want to confirm whether I'm in the right direction or not. I'm enjoying the session very much. I have not skipped since starting, and I'm very benefited from this session.
Yes. It truly doesn't matter if you're sitting in meditation and practicing, and whether you are going into a sleep state or you are fully into meditative state. Both are beneficial. You might get confused, which is very, very natural.
Okay.
I used to feel like that for a long time. I mean, even now, sometimes I don't recognize, but it's okay. Because what body needs, whether it is sleep or going into the deep trance state, it'll take you naturally.
This is natural.
The reason is, yeah, it's a natural process. And the reason you might get confused is because when you say sleep, you are actually going to that delta state, right? So the brainwave state. So, and that's what you call as sleep. So meditation also takes you to that natural brainwave state. So you might think that you are actually sleeping, but you might not be. You might actually be in a deeper state. But both ways, even if you're sleeping, that is still okay, because it is a state where you are healing deeply. So we don't need to interpret. We just practice. As long as you said it yourself. You feel fresh. You feel calm. So we see those benefits and we continue the practice. A lot of experience during meditation. It's we just witness it. That's all. We don't interpret it.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. And thank you for staying committed. 2 weeks.
Thank you.
All right. Okay. Anybody else? Madam Moina Niazi. How's been your
Yes,
experience?
I want to share something today from Karachi. So thank you so much, everyone. And I was so grateful. And in the beginning also, I felt there was a lot going on in my life. And it was maybe very, very busy time with my father being sick and me just signing a divorce and not telling anyone about it. And I didn't want to ever tell my father about it because in our society, it's a big thing for me to break a relationship for myself. And my husband was also very kind, but there were things that I felt there was a greater purpose to my life than serving an empty nest. You know, I was going through that whole situation. And then when I joined the meditation, I started enjoying it a lot, especially the session in which we were lying down and opening up to the universe and finding our new self. And the day after that, my father became more and more ill. But I got up every day in the morning. I would stay up with him all night, then just go to sleep for a few hours. But I would feel so happy that, okay, it's my time to meditate, because in that emptiness, in that space, I would find peace. And the day my father was very ill, the nurse came and told me that he's not well and he's not calming down. So I took his hand in my hand and I took my speaker, like my headphones out, and I kept meditating next to him, holding his hand. He was not conscious, but he calmed down. And I realized that even in an unconscious state, my father could sense my calmness, my emptiness, my space, and I felt it calmed him and he went to sleep. The next day also, when I was meditating, like right now, I think the lady who was saying she feels that she's unable to meditate, I think I had heard from her that she had recently lost someone she loved. And I had thought that day, maybe that's why I have come for meditation. So I just wanted her to hear this. The reason I'm sharing is because she made me think like, okay, it's sometimes we lose people. And I was sort of preparing for my father. And on that morning, when I was meditating, just the last day, I meditated. And in that meditation, I thought I had gone to sleep and I saw a dream. And in my dream, I had lost my sister 15 years ago. So I dreamt that my sister is asking me that, okay, hold the ribbon from that side and do this work with me, like we used to change bed sheets when I was a child. So she was asking me to do some work with her of preparing for something like a wrapping something. So she said, you do this and I'll do this and give me this thing from there. And I gave her that and I looked at her face and I was like, oh, this is my belated sister. This is my dead Appa. Like, what is Appa? Why is Appa doing work with me for Abu? You know, why is Appa here? And that just brought me out. And I was like, oh, during meditation, I must have slept and I had a dream about Appa. And this was in the morning. And same day at 3 o'clock, my father's breath started stopping. And when I was with him, I was holding his hand and trying to calm him down with prayer and with thought. And I told my sister, let's pray for him. Let's tell him his new life is beautiful. And my sister looked at me. This is my real, like my live sister right now who's living. She gave me the look that, no, we don't talk like that. Abu will be afraid if we talk about death. But I said, no, I'll talk about it. So I said, Abu, you know, your next home is nicer than this home. And, you know, there are people there who are waiting for you. And Appa is waiting for you. And I told my sister, you know, Appa was wrapping something and she told me, now you give me this ribbon and you hold that side. I will take care of this side. And, you know, Appa is waiting. Both of us are wrapping him here, taking care of him. But now it's Appa's turn to take his hand. And yes, I cried and I felt the grief, but I felt deep gratitude that I got a message from the other side saying that it's okay. And he will be taken care of and he will be well received. And I'm so grateful for these meditative exercises. Something inside me told me I had to do meditation regardless of how busy my life was. And I know that it came a message from the other side. Like it was my time to do the meditation. So the next day when my father died in the morning, I slept by 2:30 in the morning. And at 2:30 I started crying because I didn't cry before that. I was just grateful that he was so much at peace. He slept so well, so calmly. His last 3 breaths, I thought on the last three, each breath, I thought this is his last, because it didn't come out from his chest, that breaths that went in. But my hand was on his heart because he took my hand and put it on his heart. And he was conscious enough to know that this is my hand. And it was such a beautiful moment. And I felt that, when I was talking about today about heart elevation, I put my hand on my heart and I could feel my beating heart. And I remember the beating going away from my father's, and I felt that connection that within our hearts, like I could calm him, he can still calm me from the other side. And it was an experience I can't share with anyone else, because people might think, oh, she's being so fake, and what a drama and what a narrative, because in our society, if we talk about these spiritual experiences, sometimes people think you're doing it to seek attention. So I didn't meditate the day after my father's death, because at 2:30 I started crying, thinking, whose hair will I comb now? Who will I calm down now? Whose pamper will I change? Because my father became my baby in the end. So it's like losing a baby, and I cried for my baby, but my baby is starting his new life. And that day I didn't wake up for meditation because I slept around 4:30. And I said, it's okay. Okay, today you can mourn your father. But the whole day I had many meditative sessions. So for 2 days, I didn't meditate. And the third day of his death, I thought, okay, today is the third day of mourning. From tomorrow, I will take on my responsibility and I'll put the alarm. But on the third day, I woke up myself exactly at the time of meditation. So I just switched on my phone and I just kept meditating. I sat and I meditated. And today also, I feel so light. And although it's just been 5 days to his death, I just feel like I'm so happy for him and so joyful for him. And in the heart elevation, when I was thinking of things to be grateful for, I thought this, and I think I'm grateful to Prasanna as well, because you mentioned about loss and made me think that that's why I'm here. And I must commit to this meditation and not switch off the phone when nurses are calling me, but rather do meditation with my father, holding his hand. He loved the flute as well. It calmed him a lot. So I know he's in a good place, and thank you all for providing me this place here. It means a lot to me.
Thank you, Moinaji. Amazing experience that you're sharing. Something that I learned and understood. And Patriji's been talking about it. There's no death. I'm really glad that you said, you don't need to be afraid of talking about death. When we understand spiritually and we understand the spiritual science, we talk about quantum energy. Everything is energy. We change form. We never lose energy. Energy changes form, but it never loses self. You don't lose it. So if you truly understand the spiritual science, and that's what you're doing, and so that's what you're experiencing. We think that this is a dream. That's my imagination. But when you are into meditative state, it's not just your imagination. Because we connect to that energy source. Everything is there. So we get these messages.
And one
Thank
more
you.
thing, like my sister, she was very anxious all throughout my father's illness, very, very anxious, very broken, very much in pain. And then she was describing his death to someone that he was in extreme pain. And the last few moments I felt, I let him go. I should have held on faster. We didn't do enough. We could have taken him there. We could have called this. We did the wrong medicine. We maybe put him to sleep at the wrong time. What could I have done? And no matter how much I tried to help her, I knew that this was her journey. She must find out for herself that Abu was at peace. and that the last breath is the last breath. I mean, when the heart stops, it will be painful, but my father didn't scream. My father shut his eyes. He held my hand to his heart. He held her hand. For me, that was the most beautiful moment. And the way she described it to someone was a very traumatic moment. So I think it's about our conscious realizations and about also being aware of what is pain and what is joy. I think there was a very thin line between what I felt his last breath was one of finding relief in the new life, finding joy, for me to experience that journey, his transition. For her, she was very anxious about it. So that's why I thank the meditation thing, because I think those 8 days of meditation before his death made me realize of that inner emptiness. And I know in that emptiness is where my father's spirit is now. And in that true state of calmness, he's there and sleeping. So for me, that really helped me. So I think meditation came to me at a very, very important time. And I'm very grateful to all of you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Wow. Yes. I think you are truly understanding that higher level of understanding. And as you rightly did, we just let others experience their journey. We don't interfere, because everybody will get their understanding, and you're already there. And absolutely, meditation helps us to get there. When you meditate, you are becoming that energy, you are becoming that source, you are becoming that emptiness. So thank you.
Talked about fear today. So thank you, Rakesh. When you talked about fear and about being creative when we let go of the fear, only I wasn't afraid of death anymore. I think that it also came from meditation. So thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, absolutely. Fear of death, you lose that too. You're a great example for that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes. Madam Rosemary.
Hi, good evening from the West. I wanted to share my mom's experience with me. I was very, very close to her, and I was very fortunate to be with her when she passed on. And I just wanted to say that our last conversation, she had a confirmation, a moment toward the end. Her last words to me, my last words to her was, "Mom, I just want you to know that I love you, and that wherever you go, I will carry you in my heart wherever I go." And she looked at me and she said, "Ro, wherever I go, I will carry you in my heart." And in that moment, I was at peace because I knew we would always be together. And when she passed on, I was very fortunate because I was driving on a dark road one night and I felt this presence in the car. I couldn't see, right? You said that there's an energy, it changes form. I could feel her all around me. I could feel this loving, wonderful embrace. I knew it was my mother on a higher level. I knew it was her. And she came to me to say goodbye. And then she left. And I knew, again, that was my confirmation. There is no death, not to be afraid. And as I've been meditating this last time, I've been having more and more dreams of my mom and my dad as well. We're just doing things together, of course, manifesting in, a story-like setting. We're having dreams together, we're together. But I thought it was kind of neat that we're together and we're hanging out in the dream state. So somehow I'm becoming more aware. And sometimes we forget, even though we get confirmations throughout certain points in our life. And that's why, again, it's very important not to stop meditating, because we don't want to lose that confirmation. We don't want to lose that connection and that non-fear. I think when we disconnect from the meditation and we get into the physical world, the external, especially in the US, there's a lot of external things going on here. I don't know what it's like in India, but here, everything is being a consumer, to have things, everything's external gratification, external world, external listening, and so on. So we kind of fall away from those confirmations that we get, those inner promises that, there is a continuation of life. There is a force, a love greater than we could ever know in the emptiness. There is no emptiness. It's love. It's home. So I just wanted to share with you. Thank you for reminding me. I think my mother, throughout our lifetimes, we had many, many lifetimes together, and she's always had a special place in my heart. My dad too. I was very fortunate to be with her at her time of passing, and it was very heart-wrenching for me because I was selfish. I didn't want to lose her in the physical, but I think she's been hanging in with me, guiding me, helping me through it. I miss her like crazy, but I'm glad she's hanging out with me in a dream state now. I'm becoming more open to it. Like when I say aware, I mean open. So I never want to stop meditating again because I never want to lose that connection that we're all one. There is no difference. Life is life. And we have to have the courage to face it. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Yes, it's sacred, by the way, very sacred. I don't mean to take that away from it.
Thank you.
It's a
Yes,
beautiful experience. Mhm.
thank you. Again, I think one thing, I know all of it is there, but like you said, we don't want to give up on the practice of meditation because that is what takes us to that higher level of understanding. And you want to be there because
And keeps us
otherwise,
connected so that, in our hearts, we know it's not about believing into something. There's a difference when we hear, when we read, we believe in it, but when we meditate, it's a knowingness. It's a firsthand experience. It's a connection. We don't want to lose that. And at first, it may not come. Like you said before, when you were first meditating, you had a problem with it. It comes to us in our own way. There is no one way. We all have our individual experiences, and each individual experience is very special. And it's for us to find an experience, which makes it even more special. So once we get through the monkeys jumping in the brain, I call it the monkeys jumping around. It takes a while, but we get through that. And once it happens, it happens. There's no rushing it. There's no rush. We have all eternity. So it's a wonderful thing to finally get here. And hopefully I could go on sharing with people. And I just wanted to say thank you all for being here because we could talk about these things together. We're very open together. We have one another, and that's a very special connection. We're very lucky to have one another.
sure.
So,
Thank you.
thank you.
Yes, I think one final. MDM Thapa. I don't know your first name.
Good morning, everyone. Happy morning. I'm Manju Thapa. My first name is Manju. It's Manju Devi Maharjan, just initials, MDM. Actually, I was wondering whether I should share or not, and quite reluctant enough. But then when other participants, I heard them sharing, I felt like sharing too. Yesterday it was Buddha Purnima, and then I, along with others, I meditated for 3 hours. I was in a kind of migraine aura yesterday. I had a terrible migraine. I did also take one pill to like tranquilize myself. It wasn't that very one. It's a kind of Sijox muscles relaxation, and then I took nap for a while. After that, I woke up and I started meditating along with everyone. But then, when we went for the breath mindfulness technique, after about an hour, I started having a kind of real physical movement. I had all the vibrations in my body. And then not only vibrations, I physically started moving my body, head, legs, and everything so intensively that I thought of stopping it for a while, but then I again had another thought, let me just see whatever happens to me. And then I kept on moving as long as it goes, and I got completely tired. I felt all cold in my body, and then I went into meditation again. I didn't open my eyes. I kept on seeing my breathing in that course as well. So that did happen many times within 3 hours. At last, I did feel relaxation, but then I was wondering what actually did happen to me. I didn't know, but I just witnessed it. I just have a question for that.
So what is the question?
Question is like, what actually had happened to me? Like, why did I start moving my bodies and my legs and heads?
It's a common experience. So when we are doing deeper meditations, there's different ways when we take in a lot of energy, and energy moves in very different ways for different people. So it's like, when the wind passes through, it kind of, works in different ways on different things. So it's like that. The energy, you just let go, and you did the right thing. You became a witness, right? Because it'll pass through it. Whatever that is needed, it'll just happen. So you did the right thing by just being a witness and not trying to analyze and look at what it is during the meditation. Because let it happen. Let it happen. This is the safest way. Meditation is the most safest way practice that we can, because we are just sitting comfortably and observing our natural breath. There's nothing else that we are doing, right? We are not doing, we're just being. So it happens. We don't have to interpret why it is happening, unless you get an understanding. Sometimes you'll get a knowing, okay, this is why it is happening. Maybe there's some healing happening in certain part of the body or things like that. So you don't have to interpret. You just continue.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. I even sometimes have a kind of screamings, like especially during I am a kind of severe victim of migraine, and then like when I try to tolerate or when I try to see the pain that is going in my head, like I don't tell the people normally that I'm having migraine. I just see it. I keep on working. I never kept my work aside saying that I am a migraine patient. And then the things come out, like a kind of screeching sound comes when I cannot resist, when I cannot take the pain myself, and people, they wonder what has happened to her. And it happens sometimes during meditation. I realize a kind of screaming comes out from my body with the big vibrations hitting somewhere and all.
Yeah, that's fine. Again, I think maybe it's good to actually, practice meditation in a place where you are comfortable doing it. But let go. Do, whatever that you do, just let it happen, right? That's why that's what, if you want to, meditate in a place where, there's not a lot of disturbance, not a lot of people around, it'll be good, because the more we let go, it's always the better. So whatever that comes through during the meditation, just be a witness, just let it happen, and it'll be all right.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you. I will follow that. Thank you very much.
Wonderful. So thank you, friends. I know we went well past. One thing that I do want to share, right? So while we talk about that, okay, we lose the fear of death. The reason we do it is we want to experience this life fully. It's about every experience, whatever the way we work or the way we enjoy the food, everything, that experience becomes that much more richer because we lose that fear. So, and the point of meditation for me is that to live life fully, not to withdraw, right? Because we are here for an experience, and we will experience that fully. All right. So thank you, friends, for staying and sharing your experiences and being part of this journey. All right. Thank you. See you tomorrow.
Yes, I seem to have evolved. Such a very, I don't have words to express myself, really. Thank you so much. It is one of the most memorable sessions so far in my meditative journey. Thank you so very much, and looking forward to seeing all of you tomorrow. Have a good day.